So we're seeing China's rising involvement in the Middle East for some time now, and joining us now on the topic is Director of China-based Diadem Company, Dr. Avi Mazor. Hi, Avi. So starting with a big one, why is China so interested in our region in the Middle East? What are their key motivations and interests? What do they want?
Okay, to answer that question briefly, we need to look at the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is the war going on between the West, led by the US on one hand, and the China/Russia, superpowers. That war, which is an economic war, a technology war, okay, is part of the game here. Now, the key interest of China in the Middle East is to, block the influence of the US and the Western, Europe in the Middle East, to chase US away from this region. Okay, they are doing it with Iran, with Russia. Okay, they are looking to create an influential region which will allow them to penetrate, invest, and eventually influence dramatically the ongoing political, economic maneuvers in this region, okay, and strengthening and empowering, their bloc against the Western bloc. This is a serious worry for the US as well as for Israel.
Definitely. Now, Avi, how has China's involvement in the Middle East, we're talking about the Middle East here, influenced its relations with Israel? I mean, are there any notable economic or political aspects to highlight? Also the background of China's relations with Iran, with Saudi Arabia, with Egypt?
Well, it's quite tricky, actually. It's not black and white. Let me explain briefly. On one hand, Israel is not happy, that's an understatement, is not happy that China is collaborating with Iran. Iran is the biggest threat to Israel, viability. So Iran is buying China is buying oil from Iran. China is providing Iran with a lot of knowledge, defense-related and otherwise. We don't like it, but on the other hand, Israel is doing a lot of business with China in terms of mutual, trade balance. China money is flooding into Israel, into projects, into M&A, merger and acquisition of Israeli companies. Having that in mind on one hand, and also being careful not to irritate the US too much, drives Israel to walk on thin ice, quote unquote. Namely, the Israeli government decides not to make a clear, position against or for, but to walk in between the drops. That's what's going on right now until further notice.
Wow, and now Mahmoud Abbas, the president of the Palestinian Authority, is scheduled to visit China for a few days coming Tuesday. Do we know what's on the agenda, and how does it actually fit into China's broader engagement with the Israeli-Palestinian conflict?
Well, personally, myself, I don't know what is the agenda. I really don't give that much weight to that visit. Abbas is weak, sick, okay, and I don't know if I'm going to say whether I'm happy about it or not, but it's going to expire rather soon. In any way, I don't think that China will make much of an impact in helping bridging negotiations between Israel and the Palestinian Authority. Maybe China will provide some economic aid to the Palestinian Authority, but that, of course, will need to go through Israel and with Israeli agreement. So, personally, I would not give that much of a weight to this visit, okay? But China involvement, coming back to the previous issue that we have discussed, China involvement in the Middle East with Iran, with the Saudi Arabia, with Egypt, with the other, Arab countries, okay, that is a major move designed to have an impact on the destiny of the Israeli, Palestinian conflict. How it's going to evolve, we don't know yet. Okay, it's really like a big, complicated chess, game. However, I would not, to finalize this answer, I would not, consider this visit of Abbas too important at this point.
We will definitely have to wait and see what China's involvement in the Middle East does. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.